Hi team, it's Gina Brooks, and today we're going to talk about something different. And I'm actually going to start off this session with my quote. I found this quote on TikTok. Yes, it's definitely my go-to place these days, and I fell in love with it. It's kind of a spiritual quote, but I actually found that it resonated with me in so many other ways, particularly with work and at home. So I'm going to start off by reading it to you. Okay. So the quote goes, "Sometimes things won't happen when you want them to because the thing that you want isn't what you currently need." Okay. So what stuck out to me is want and need. And I think I mentioned maybe in one of my videos that I have recently returned to my senior year in high school. I'm sure a lot of you have been returning to school with COVID lately. I am actually helping my son with his senior year, and one of his classes is economics. So just this last week, part of the lesson was on wants and needs. So it's not like I chose to take economics, but nevertheless, I'm actually learning something. And one of the things that they were talking about in terms of studying economics is need versus wants. So a need is food, water, shelter, right? A want is something that we desire. So my best example of what I want as opposed to what I need. So I need food and water, right? But I want wine and Haagen-Dazs ice cream, which is usually what I give myself, thus the 10-pound weight gain. But I don't need ice cream and wine. It's a desire. It's something I want. And I thought it was kind of a really cool example of wants and needs. And I started thinking about how we could apply that to our regular life. Now, in economics, want and need has to do with the study of scarcity and scarcity in terms of resources that we have. I'm totally just showing off right now. But we're going to talk about it in terms of what we want and need in our home and work life. Okay. So one of the examples of scarce resources, if I'm going to just stay on the economics thing for 1 second and how it relates to the coronavirus, is when there was the whole like toilet paper, paper towel, hand sanitizer drama. It became a scarce resource, right? Because everyone felt for some reason that it was a need, that if they did not get it, that they couldn't survive, which is fascinating to me because I can think of other options. But nevertheless, it became a scarce resource. Okay. So how does it affect our regular daily lives, what we need and want? Well, obviously our needs and wants change constantly, right? It changes as our life changes. What we need now or want now might have been different years ago, and it might be different in the future. But sometimes we really feel like we need something or somebody. And the reality is, it might be more of a desire, that we desire somebody or we desire something, and that someone or something might not be exactly what's best for us at that time or ever, frankly. So I want to go back to that quote. Sometimes things won't happen when you want them to because the thing that you want isn't currently what you need. So, for example, let's put it into our work life. Okay, let's say you want a promotion. You want to make more money because you need to support your family to survive. So let's say to get this promotion, you have to do a job that doesn't best fit your skill set. So let's say, for example, I can give you my own personal example. Right out of college, I had my first like real job, and I was an outside salesperson for a supplies company. And I had been in retail sales all my life and was a pretty good, retail salesperson because of course if I'm going to be, I sold clothes, hello, like kind of an expert on that one. But when I tried to transfer those skills to the outside sales world where I had to go knocking on doors. I look like on paper, I look perfect for the job. My personality, I'm pretty outgoing. But when it came down to being motivated to get up every day and actually go out and knock on doors and make phone calls and meet with people and work alone, work independently, I found out that that wasn't a fit for me, and the company found out I wasn't a fit for them as well. Now, what I learned is at that time, that was something that perhaps I wanted because it was my first job out of college, and I wanted that job and I wanted the pay, but it wasn't something that I was ready for. It wasn't something I needed at that time. Now, fast forward 20 something years later, obviously I've honed my skills. I have a lot more confidence. I've learned to work more independently. So perhaps that would have been a better fit for me now. So the reality is when we want something that we think we need to evaluate if that want or that need actually benefits us. So does it give us anything back? So am I setting myself up for failure just because it's something that I really, really wanted? You will have to determine at that point, is the money more important to me than the need to feel good about myself, to feel confident about my work performance? They got to the point where I couldn't even drag myself out of bed. I dreaded having to get up by myself and go drive to all these companies and knock on the door. My personality is much more team oriented. I actually like going to the office. I'm not one to enjoy like working from home at all in my pink bunny slippers. I prefer to get up, get out the door, meet with people in person, and regardless that it was a want, I wanted the money, it really wasn't the best need for me at that time. So be careful what you want. Let's see, what else do I got here? I'm going to look at my notes. Okay, so let's break down our needs and wants further when it comes down to employee engagement and satisfaction. Okay, so when it comes to workplace needs and wants, they're interchangeable. Okay, so whereas in our personal lives we could say I need, food, water, so forth, but I want wine and Haagen-Dazs, when it comes to what employees want and need, they're kind of interchangeable, right? But there are some specific differences, and we'll go over those real quick. So what are the things when it comes to workplaces that employees need? And a lot of these coincide with our basic human needs. So if you know anything about Maslow's theory of our 5 basic needs categories, these have a lot to do, very similar. I'm really throwing out my my schooling today. I swear, I'm back in my senior year, so I'm going to use everything to impress you people. So employees want to feel valued. That's a need. They need to feel respected. They need to feel valued. They need to feel they're treated ethically. These are basic needs that any employee, regardless of whatever job or whatever business that you work at, these are basic needs that every employee should feel. They should feel valued, they should feel respected, they should feel that they're treated ethically, and they should feel that they're appreciated. Okay? So now, will they die if they don't have any of these things, like the economic definition of need? No. But will they be engaged? Will they be productive? Will they be happy employees? The answer is also no. Okay? So now we're going to talk about what employees want. And again, that's totally different based on the employee. Employees want different things. They might want a job that pays. Things motivate employees differently. Some employees want appreciation more than they want money. So those things differ, but these are just some basics. So one of the things I really like to talk about is expectations, because as a supervisor and employer, we have expectations of our employees. But I think that we really, really forget that job applicants and employees have expectations of what their employment life is going to be like, right? So it's a two-way street. It's not a gift, oh great, you get to work for us. They're also interviewing us to see if we're the type of corporation that has the corporate culture that they want to work for, if their needs are being met by a corporation. And there's some distinctive things that most employees want from their leaders, and I'm going to list those right now. Okay, so number one, they want to hear from their leaders and managers, not just their direct supervisors, but they want to hear all the way up to the executive, the CEO, the board of directors. They want to hear directives from them, and they want to hear information from them. They don't want to be the last ones to be told. They don't want to get their information through the rumor mill. They want direct information from the top. And they want that particularly if it affects their job, right? They shouldn't have to wait for information that's truly going to affect their daily life, their income, what they do every day. So employees want information, okay? They also want regular and constructive feedback, and not just yearly during their evaluation. They want regular communication with their supervisor about their performance. They want clear expectations on what their employer wants. They want feedback regularly in a timely manner before they're going to be terminated, to say how they're doing, what areas they need improvement on. And this really is the supervisor's responsibility to start this communication. I always encourage employees to request feedback from their supervisor, but this really should be the supervisors should take the initiative in giving regular constructive feedback. And believe it or not, your employees want that feedback. They want it because it's going to help them. It's part of your coaching, okay? So number three, they want to be treated like human beings. They want to be treated like humans, not capital. That's another economic word I learned during my senior year in economics, capital. But I'm just saying in general, they don't want to be treated like capital. They want to be treated like humans. They also want to participate and be empowered to give input, particularly on things that are going to affect their lives. If decision makers are making decisions without even getting their input, their needs will not be met that way, because they want to feel respected, right? They need to feel respected. They want to give input so that their voice is heard. So be sure to always ask your staff, your employees, to give input. Okay, and last, and again, this is just a few, there's many. Last, employees want to trust and believe in their leaders of the organization. They want to believe that their leaders are ethical. They want to believe that their leaders have their best interest. They want to believe that their leaders are looking towards the future, that they're visionaries, because that all goes into play in meeting their basic needs, which is to be able to provide for their family. So I could just go on, and I'm trying to really get better at being shorter on these videos, which obviously I suck at. But I hope this was helpful. I had to use and show off what I've learned in senior year. I wonder if I'll get asked to go to the prom. Anyway, I'm going to sign off today, but I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and please be sure to subscribe. When you watch this video, all you have to do is push the little subscribe button, and it would mean a lot to me because it lets me know that you are following me. And then also, if you could please go to my website at www.workplacewanda.com and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me too. You, by subscribing, are helping me continue with my vision and passion of motivating and inspiring. Thank you. Bye. Toodles.